Have you ever felt trapped in an endless battle of wills? An exhausting encounter that no matter what you say or do, you just can't seem to win. Does someone in your life make you doubt your own sanity, leave you emotionally exhausted and question your worth? If so, you may be dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. These masters try to lock you completely in a cage. They want power and admiration and will stop at nothing to get it. Their charm can be disarming, but beneath the facade lies a deep insecurity and a ruthless need for control. Trying to emotionally persuade a narcissist is like adding fuel to the fire. Remember, your emotions are only your enemy against a narcissist. The narcissist will pull your emotions down and make you feel guilty. So never be fooled by how they make you feel. But there is a philosophy that has the wisdom to change all the rules of the game: Stoicism. Understanding the narcissist's playbook and mastering the principles of an ancient philosophy called Stoicism can give you the tools to navigate their manipulation and maintain your inner peace. It's time to stop fighting their battles and start winning your own. In this video, we will expose the tactics of narcissists, examine the power of Stoic wisdom, and teach you how to strategically neutralize them. Remember, the way to deal with a narcissist is to realize that it is a wasted effort, that it is not worth fighting a battle you are designed to lose. Sometimes strategic approval and tactical praise are the only way to neutralize their aggression before they do more damage. Are your most powerful weapons to put out its fire. If you are ready to arm yourself with knowledge, stand firm in the face of emotional exploitation, and reclaim your life with the timeless principles of Stoicism, you are in the right place. And while you're here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. Let's go on a narcissist hunt together and discover how Stoicism can light the way to a stronger and more serene life. Imagine a castle with walls built high and strong. This is the ego of the narcissist, solid and seemingly impenetrable. The slightest scratch, the slightest question to this fortress of the ego is interpreted as a siege. Any move against this impenetrable fortress can be the narcissist's beginning to push you. The narcissist cannot bear to have his carefully constructed image questioned or his perceived flaws exposed. Their response is seen as a flood of defense, anger, and deflection to protect the fragile heart within. The world therefore becomes a battlefield for the narcissist. In every conversation, they seek approval, not a real connection. They expect unquestioning acceptance and obedience. In every opinion they hear not different points of view but a challenge to their superiority. They cannot simply disagree. They need to dominate. They cannot be questioned, they have to deflect. This grueling battle is their reality. The Stoics understood that we cannot control the storms that beat against the walls of our soul, but we can choose how to strengthen those walls. The narcissist is trapped by his ego, constantly reacting to external stimuli. His peace is a temporary illusion. But you can build a different kind of fortress with the wisdom of Stoicism. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If someone thinks badly of you, don't be angry with him because he was wrong in his assumption." The narcissist's criticisms are a reflection of their own insecurities, not a mirror of your true worth. Their sarcasm is not meant to hurt you, but to glorify themselves. Remember, you cannot control their words, but you can control your reaction. Their problem is not with you but with themselves. Choose not to take their attacks personally. Use the Stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining in advance the scenario of being criticized by a narcissist. Visualize yourself keeping your cool, not being drawn into their battle. See yourself responding not with anger, but with a neutral understanding of their inner turmoil. This mental rehearsal will equip you with resilience when faced with the harsh words of a narcissist. Let the wisdom of philosophy guide your path. Its thorns may prick, but your inner peace need not crumble like a fortress wall. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to become like your enemy. Maintain your dignity, refuse to participate in their games, and walk away, keeping your cool. This is indeed a power that the narcissist cannot understand. This power will make them question themselves. The narcissist craves control like a drowning person craves air. They build elaborate networks of influence, trying to dictate the course of events and the behavior of those around them. Power is not a tool for them, but a lifeline. The slightest challenge to their dominance sends waves of fear through their carefully constructed world. In response, desperately clinging to the illusion of control, they attack, manipulate, or they withdraw. This need for control reveals a fundamental insecurity within the narcissist. It is the fear of being insignificant, of being adrift in a world they cannot dominate. They believe that their self-worth depends on their ability to subjugate others to their will. It is a dance of desperation and reveals their deep-seated vulnerability. But what if there was a different way to approach this situation? What if one could find a stable center from which to move instead of being pulled into the narcissist's turbulent orbit? What if one could find a way not to be dominated by it? This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a ray of hope. Stoicism teaches the value of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, and letting go of what we cannot control, the behavior of others, even a narcissist. Stoicism provides practical tools for dealing with the challenge of being overshadowed by a narcissist. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is the dilemma of control, which encourages us to distinguish between what is within our power and what is not. As Epictetus says, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we react to them. In dealing with a narcissist, this means recognizing that his need for attention is beyond our control, but our reaction to his behavior is within our power. The Stoics teach us that true control lies not in mastering external circumstances, but in mastering our own minds. Our mastery of our own minds ensures that we are only marginally affected by circumstances beyond our control. Because, as the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, we have power over our minds, not over external events, and we find power when we realize this. Remind yourself of this. You cannot control the narcissist's need for power, but you can control your own reaction. Practice detachment carefully. When you encounter attempts to control you, visualize yourself stepping back, creating a space between their actions and your feelings. See their manipulations not as personal attacks, but as frantic attempts to maintain their unstable world. Refuse to participate in their power struggles. Refuse to enter into their will by withdrawing yourself. By disconnecting, you maintain control over your peace of mind and conserve your energy. Remember, the narcissist cannot really control you unless you allow them to. As Epictetus advised, it is not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. Choose to react with calmness and clarity. Feelings, positive or negative, towards a narcissistic person should be expressed clearly. Set boundaries firmly but without being aggressive. Maintain your inner composure, knowing that your strength lies in refusing to be drawn into their chaotic orbit. Imagine the narcissist as a child lost in a dark forest, desperately clinging to any source of solace. This deep-seated fear of abandonment shapes their entire being. They constantly need reassurance and demand undivided attention from those around them. The slightest hint of neglect sends them into a panic. Because to be alone is to return to that primal state of vulnerability. In response, they can manipulate, cling or attack, desperately trying to draw others into their orbit. This fear reveals a fundamental wound, a belief that they are not worthy of love or connection unless they constantly prove their worth. Their relationship is not based on trust, but on a desperate need to fill an inner void. They never fail to use you for their own needs. It is a tragic existence in which even the most devoted affection cannot dispel the specter of abandonment that haunts their souls. Yet within this fear lies the opportunity for liberation through Stoic wisdom. The Stoics understood that true security comes not from attachment to others, but from developing inner strength and self-reliance. It is a recognition that while we may desire connection, our ultimate well-being should not depend entirely on the presence or absence of others. When dealing with a narcissist's fear of abandonment, remind yourself of Epictetus' view on attachment. What do I care if things go my way as long as my will is in accordance with nature? Practice careful detachment. Show compassion for their inner turmoil, but set clear boundaries. Don't let their emotional turmoil dictate your own mood. Use the Stoic practice of self-reliance. Focus on building your own inner peace and sense of well-being, independent of external relationships. Build strong friendships, take up fulfilling hobbies, and develop a sense of purpose based on your own values. When you build your own inner foundation, the narcissist's fear-based manipulations lose their hold on you. Remember, their fears are not about you, but about their own unresolved wounds. By maintaining your own composure in the face of their emotional storms, you are not only protecting yourself, but also modeling a healthier way of relating. Your emotional independence becomes a powerful act of defiance against their need for control. The narcissist builds a world of his own making, a realm in which he rules. Their beliefs, no matter how flawed, become unquestionable truths. His ideas are never open to debate, no matter how misinformed they may be. Their own feelings and thoughts are always more important. To challenge these carefully crafted concepts is to strike at the very heart of their carefully cultivated egos. The result? Not a thoughtful debate, but an instinctive, aggressive defense of their distorted reality. This rigidity of thought reveals the deep insecurity at their core. The narcissist cannot afford to have his carefully constructed worldview shaken, because to admit error is to admit imperfection. The foundation on which their grandiosity rests would begin to crumble. So they cling even more tightly to their beliefs, desperately struggling to maintain the illusion of their own infallibility. But Stoicism allows you to see through this charade. The Stoics understood the importance of reason, logic, and the constant search for truth. They embraced the possibility of being wrong as an opportunity for growth. With this understanding, you can escape the narcissist's twisted battlefield of ideas. Focus on maintaining your own inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to become like your enemy. Remember, your goal is not to convince the narcissist, but to preserve your own peace of mind. Do not engage in fruitless arguments. Express your point of view calmly and briefly, and then withdraw from the discussion. Do not insist on what you are arguing about. Practice the Stoic discipline of open-mindedness. Be willing to consider new information and alternative points of view. Let curiosity, not ego, guide your interactions. When the narcissist stubbornly clings to his distorted views, you don't have to participate in his mental gymnastics. Remember, true wisdom lies in the ability to accept what we don't know, and to continually seek greater understanding. The narcissist's rigid ideology is a prison of his own making. By adopting the Stoic path of open-minded questioning, you walk a path of true intellectual freedom, unrestricted by the need to always be right. Imagine the narcissist as a spoiled child who believes that the world exists only to fulfill his or her desires. Their sense of entitlement knows no bounds. They see themselves as superior in all matters and situations. They consider themselves worthy of only the best and believe that the rules that govern others should bend to their will. When reality refuses to conform to their expectations, their reactions are quick and predictable: petulance, anger, and manipulation. This childish behavior reveals their inability to handle even the smallest disappointments with maturity. They have never learned that the world does not revolve around them, or that sometimes desires need to be tempered with patience and acceptance. For the narcissist, no is not an answer but an insult to their inflated sense of self-importance. The Stoic path offers freedom from their tantrums and manipulations. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of accepting what is beyond our control. It reminds us that contentment is not always about getting what we want, but about being. Lies in developing an inner strength that cannot be shaken. The Stoics recognize that desires themselves are not intrinsically bad, but it is our unhealthy attachment to them that leads to suffering. Practice the Stoic exercise of voluntary discomfort. Choose to deliberately give up small comforts or pleasures from time to time. This helps cultivate a sense of gratitude and strengthens your resilience in the face of disappointment. When faced with a narcissist's demands, remember that refusing them will not destroy you. By adopting small acts of voluntary discomfort in other areas of life, you develop a mental fortitude that makes it easier to face their righteous tantrums with equanimity. Voluntary discomfort reminds you that true contentment lies not in always getting what you want, but in the ability to adapt and find peace even when circumstances do not suit your desires. This subtle but powerful practice helps you separate your sense of well-being from the whims of the narcissist, allowing you to keep your cool and hold your ground firmly. Remember, by refusing to get caught up in their drama, you reduce the power of their tantrums. Your unwavering calm in the face of their demands becomes a testament to your own inner fortitude, a far greater victory than they could ever hope to claim. Another issue is emotional intimacy. True intimacy requires a profound act of courage. The courage to reveal our true selves, our wounds, and everything. For the narcissist, this level of vulnerability is like entering the battlefield naked. Their carefully constructed mask of greatness cannot withstand the light of a real connection. It would mean exposing the fragile, wounded child inside them, a part of them that they are desperately trying to hide. In response, they may deflect, withdraw, or lash out, sabotaging the chance for real intimacy. This inability to connect reveals a deep-seated fear of real human relationships. The narcissist believes that he or she must be perfect to be loved. They cannot bear the thought of someone else seeing their flaws or knowing their struggles. This is a tragic paradox. They long for a real connection, but they sabotage every opportunity for it. But within this tragedy lies the opportunity for liberation through Stoicism. The Stoics understood that true strength lies not in invulnerability, but in embracing the totality of our humanity. They realized that true connection does not arise from perfection, but from shared experiences, vulnerability, and the courage to truly see and be seen by another. When faced with a narcissist's fear of intimacy, remember the Stoic principle of compassion. As Epictetus said, if someone is unhappy, let him remember that he is unhappy because of himself. Recognize that their inability to connect is not your fault, but a reflection of their own inner turmoil. Practice adjusting your expectations. Don't expect sudden breakthroughs or deep, meaningful connections with a narcissist. Focus on setting healthy boundaries, protecting your own emotional well-being, and building a genuine connection with those who can reciprocate. Maintain a sense of neutral compassion in your interactions, avoiding getting sucked into their emotional drama. Remember, your own path to connection does not depend on the narcissist. Seek relationships based on authenticity, trust, and mutual respect. Stoicism offers a path of unwavering inner strength that allows you to offer understanding without compromising your own emotional well-being. By embracing the Stoic ideal, you are modeling a healthy type of connection that the narcissist may never know, but deep down perhaps desires. Another issue is that the narcissist uses his carefully crafted persona as a glittering but fragile mask. Beneath the polished surface lies a raw, wounded core that they have spent a lifetime trying to hide. When this facade is breached in even the slightest way, the reaction is swift and often explosive. Intense shame and anger become their weapons to ward off the terrifying sense of vulnerability. It is a desperate and destructive defense mechanism designed to protect the fragile ego lurking beneath. Their deep-rooted shame reveals a deep belief in their own worthlessness. They believe that to be imperfect is to be unlovable. Any exposure of their imperfections feels like a catastrophic threat to their entire sense of self. They cannot accept the idea that people are complex, messy beings, capable of both good and bad things. This is the narcissist's curse, to live in eternal fear of being unmasked. Yet Stoicism offers a way to overcome this crippling shame and fear. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance, flaws and all. It teaches us that our value as individuals depends not on perfection, but on the ongoing pursuit of virtue. Understanding this can allow you to see beyond the narcissist's bravado and defensiveness to the vulnerable hurt heart within. When a narcissist feels vulnerable, he will relentlessly attack every emotional hole he sees in you, every crack you show him. Even if you stand before him like a monolithic marble with no cracks, he will try to crack you or take test shots to find your weak points. In such situations, be like rocks crashed by waves. Let the narcissist's verbal attacks hit the walls of your inner fortress that you have built with rocks and return back to him. Don't fall into this trap, remember. Every wave that hits the rock polishes it a little more. Practice the Stoic discipline of emotional detachment. Maintain a calm demeanor and avoid their attempts to provoke you. Set clear boundaries and refuse to participate in their attempts to shame or deflect blame. Focus on your own actions and choices. Ground yourself in your values and refuse to stoop to their level. Remember, true strength lies not in aggression, but in unwavering self-awareness. The narcissist may project their shame onto you, but you have the power to refuse to accept it. By adopting the Stoic principles of self-acceptance and inner equanimity, you demonstrate a kind of freedom that the narcissist can never fully understand. It is important to note that while these triggers shed light on narcissistic tendencies, they do not provide a definitive diagnosis. Narcissistic personality disorder is a complex condition that requires professional assessment. However, understanding these triggers and applying the tools of Stoicism can bring tremendous clarity and personal freedom, regardless of whether a person meets all the criteria for NPD. Stoicism gives us the wisdom to recognize harmful patterns and the power to transcend them with equanimity and compassion. It teaches us to focus on our own inner peace and virtuous actions rather than engage in endless battles with those who feed on drama and manipulation. By choosing the Stoic path, we protect ourselves from abuse and walk a path towards true self-mastery. It is a victory that no narcissist can ever take away from us. Throughout this video, we unmask the narcissist's strategies and equip you with the wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, the key to neutralizing a narcissist is to prioritize your inner peace and choose your battles wisely. You have the power to break free from their emotional traps, set clear boundaries, and exercise unwavering self-control. While dealing with a narcissist may seem like an uphill battle at times, remember that knowledge is power. Understanding their tactics and adopting Stoicism gives you a distinct advantage. By focusing on inner strength, emotional detachment, and rational responses, you become immune to their manipulations. The path to freedom from narcissistic influence may not be easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. It's about reclaiming your power, protecting your well-being, and refusing to be reduced to a pawn in their toxic game. If you found the strategies and insights in this video useful, I encourage you to like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Here you will find ongoing support, practical tips, and a community of people dedicated to personal growth and resilience. May you stand strong against the narcissist. Let's continue this journey together. Share your experiences and questions in the comments below. Your insights can help others struggling with similar challenges. Remember, you are not alone, and there is a path to true personal mastery and a life free from emotional chaos. Hope to see you in the next videos. Be a Stoicist, stay happy. Don't forget to subscribe.